and talking about how the English, them people who so quick to call us savages, became quote unquote civilized. He attributes this and their Christianization to the interests of Gregory the Great, who, as Yarrow, an Englishman, tells us, one day while walking along the slave market in Rome, saw for sale about 15 or 20 fair-skinned, blue-eyed, blonde-haired young people laying in the dirt, barefooted, and bear in mind this is still an Englishman talking. And he asks the owner, who are they? And the owner says, they come from across the English Channel. If you're interested in buying them, you can have 3 for the price of 1 or any of the other slaves. He said they're cheap because they're only worth 1/3 as much as anybody else is worth. Blows your mind, doesn't it? And say the country that they come from is a place called Canaanland. And Gregory is supposed to have said, he said then, are they Christian? And the guy said, are you kidding? Hell no, they're heathen. Hell no, they're heathen.
All right, Jack, this shit. That's for these punks out there, man. They think that IHF is just jacking people's beats. You know what I'm saying? It's all about respecting the old school. You know what I mean? And what we grew up on, yo. You know what I'm saying? But we bring it on another level. Yo! Look inside of my mind and see. Party boy dropping. 1, 2, 3. Light it up. Ja Rule says system, I never sipping wine, never bitten swine in a megawatt. Man, I know what them boy they are read. The folks are teeth before Africans, the Greek was a freak. Never knew nothing, thought the earth was flat. It's word, sound, power, power, we don't rap.
Take a swing with the henchback. Magnums with red dots, the shots up the blood clot. Feds say we can't smoke, you got a damn joke. You know them foot sores be flooding us with all of the coke. I say no thanks, tip the boat, slip the poke shanks. Yeah, we come hard, nigga, no pranks. Shots to shake your nerve, make KKK supporters fight the curve. Flip the script from American X. My peeps deserve respect. Destructive car and all this caucus ways can step. Yo, Africa's what we rep. No matter how hard we rep it. Revolution time, cops get exit because they're killing every nigga. Killing every nigga. Yeah. Cops killing every nigga inside. Cops killing every nigga inside. Cops, I see them on my binoculars. Cops killing every nigga inside. Cops in front the boy them, in front the preacher. They talk blase blah, go to Mardi Gras to see girls without bras at bars to be the Jerry Springer stars. You know what I mean? IHF, Jack Your Ish Volume 2. Once again, respecting boot camp on the mans them. You know what I'm saying? Mans them who caused us to go grab the fatigues, you know what I'm saying? Bringing that rebel rap up on, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? On the streets, what we do, buck them downward like water rush my home from helicopters to bikes. Fool around and soldiers wheel the tools around, booby traps, keep it safe and sound. Cops dead with the face on the ground. Helly's hit with Sam's, thanks to Uncle Sam. And hand grenade a squad car from all of my fam. No pigs in a pen with no place to scram. Other fake like ham.
They got you hating yourself, so you hate time. They got you following stupid trends, eating the guts of blonde, treating women as sexual objects. You scheme black power, but when riot police come, you drop this. How come the person taping Rodney didn't help? These funk stack for ancestors on museum shelves. Showcase their heads and scrap the body. Desecration of any holy site to me is ungodly. In all shapes and forms, cause they shape shift. I'm telling you truth, this ain't tales from the crypt. In reality, you need to get a grip. They're marching millions of mental slaves or mental slave ships.
Tip a pig's peak with bullets from a rooftop. High-fiving roots and sus watching these goofs drop. They shoot at people and laugh, so oh well. You want a man of security when the heads get shelled? Go ahead and man up. When I spray, see if your legs there to stand up. Suppression, class, gas, nigga, buck them down. Buck them down, buck them down, buck them down.
Why
Yo, buck them down, buck them down.
Buck them down.
Buck them down, buck them down, buck them down.
On the line.
Buck them down, buck them down. Prince Assassin, buck them down, yeah, buck them down. Huey Heights, buck them down, buck them down.
Hey, yo, IHF, Volume 2, jack your shit. And you know, for jacking your shit, you gotta be ready to give it up. Yo, you ready to give back all the stolen property, man. We are from Alexandria. the ones who take it back.
Sit back and enjoy this one. With Tom Foster, Fun Shots.
Yeah.
With your head here. Take ropes off. Take crowns off. Get the fuck on the ground and sit up to your drawers. Stole from our people. We here to represent the truth and all obelisk. All museums hold the stolen property. Told lies to make them look good. That's shit robbery. Slavery's been gone. They thought they slaughtered me. Chained me to my border, threw us off the boat into the water. I told her don't panic, stay patient. We will live within and get our reparations. And our land back from the Ashkenazi true wish. You were the original Hebrew, one of the true criminal. Friends with the beats and Hicks. Give me my privacy back, take the cameras off the light post. Give me the black guard, take back the white bros. Give me the 3 black ones for your white coat. Give me back the knowledge from Egypt. You can keep it out. Deals for me to keep holding power. And yeah, jack your shit, jack your up, jack your shit, yo. I don't want nothing, all I have is needs. Y'all wanna hear that though? I'm from a militant breed. All I need is Africa, pay for my plane ticket. Give back to baseball and you can keep it a cricket. Make me rip it, call me rebellious slave. Give back the ritual, don't plant me in no grave. Give back the true face way of living. Give back both your Halloween and all your fall Thanksgiving. To the chant genocide the whole nation into submission of the rights, life and enslave them. All about the fuckery and give it back to them. Round up all the cat pussies and give it back to them. And keep it cookie, cause I'm not Mr. Christie. That legalizing weed off are really fishy. I bet Mr. Ketchup love to smoke till he's let out. And that's the only reason that law could even get out. If y'all ready to stop the port just to get fat. Instead of giving us food, you wanna give me a gap. Y'all your white Jesus, I give it back to that. Y'all your big gun shots, I give it back to that. Hey, yo, jack your shit. Yo, jack your shit. Yo, I ain't jack if you like this. I ain't jack how you like this. Hey, yo, we jack that shit. Yo, it's like a motherfucking shit. Hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. Yo,
Knowledge, IHF. Yo, we gotta get a little bit closer. You know what I'm saying?
slow it
To
down.
our mental upliftment. A lot of these clowns are just straying. You know what I'm saying? Still living like slaves. You know, yeah, we all gotta work. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be following everything, man.
Ladies, snap your fingers to the
Yeah.
sun.
We got you acting like a slave, eating like a slave, talking like a slave, eating like a slave, walking like a slave, dreaming like a slave, lying like a slave, living like a slave, dying like a slave. When we do change your ways, we all know that crime pays. The 10 commandments contradict what my heart says. And the Bible from King James, man control slaves. To think white is right sounds like master of a slave. African men were slaves, the Jews that were not slaves. The word Slav is what born the word slave. George Washington bought Africans with molasses he paid. America was built on the basis of trade of slaves. Land of the free, home of the brave Indian, who have nothing to do with India, but lots to do with guns and liquor. The Mexicans would tell you that we were there before Columbus, coming abduct us and obstruct the most high justice. What's just a hatchet, a bundle of sticks on American dimes? Proof we live in millennium miles past this times. Charter of rights, worse than Nazi stag rights. Those who say that they are Jews are synagogue of Satan types with pigtails and yarmulkes. You're just a fucking Ashkenazi, giving our reparations and our land and you accept it blindly. It's Schwarzenegger and Power Ella couldn't get me back to Cali. Just so you know, the governor's party was a full-blown Nazi. Living like a slave, breathe like a slave, this seems like a slave, lost like a slave, not the boss like a slave, force like a slave, toss like a slave, breathe like a slave, lead like a slave, rebel against slavery, rebel against slavery. Yo, I check.
Yeah, you we hype, I ain't gonna drag on this for a moment. My ambitions is a griot, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna jack this hook first. Yo, two my niggas bust they gun. Hell yeah, we bust our gun. On our block, boy, them won't come. Hell no, yo, them down, them north, engine south, engine east, engine west. Yo, grab your freaking Glocks and then grab your. Yo, as soon as I get in, killers wanna pop and rock us. Roll up the marijuana, hot or fire on shoppers. They wanna watch the newest knowledge video that I got. Because they know I'm not into seeing my people get shot. How many folks do I touch a lot? Like exit for resurrection, not just for marking the spot. Hey, listen, I speak French, but this one's in English. I've reasoned with many street scholars who are well distinguished. They tell me, son, you're doing good. Don't stop what you're doing. Keep it consistent, and Babylon will soon get ruined. I'm sick of cracker-loving niggas calling me racist. I'm sick of sodomites trying to they need their faces. I'm sick of stupid niggas trying to prove they smart. I'm sick of these politics and all their works of art. The Ernie Eve said he's gonna ban works of rule. That's been happening for years. Do you take me for a fool? Yo, we should have a black school board with black criteria. Nothing Sunday school shit portrayed in the media. So black, we use whiteboards and write with black chalk. And if you're too whitewashed for that, son, then take a walk. Black picket fences with red, black, and green flower gardens. That's just for starters. I beg no pardon, my head's too hardy for foolishness to penetrating. Of reason was strange that visually see the head spin. It's not from taking shots at gin. It's from thinking social insurance number really spells out sin. I'm sick of white them and racial profiling. Every time they pass by, they expect me to be smiling. I'm sick of the martial law. Give me more blackouts so I can raid 41 and blow a bitch back out. Yelling out, Rasta man shall win. Make an echo across the sea, make a crawl up on the Babylon skin. You'll pass it off to your next of kin. And if that message gets back to me, son, all you see is a grin. I, mother effing H, mother effing F.
Drama, drama. It's drama. Yo, it's Sun Falcon in the building. But, yo, the footprint on the moon will always be there. But there was an American flag waving in an airless atmosphere. All was mixed. Now we have white people up in our mix, wearing our kente and all gods wearing Timbs and mints. Criminal kings putting their junk in our body. African with caucus are thinking have no choice to live on godly. Posing with shawties on magazines and black magazines. Doing nothing underground, just promote the mainstream. On the brain control screen, they program with BET. Uncut Saturdays, but Sunday morning they praying for Paulism. To be racist is power plus prejudice, and I don't have enough power, so let me tell you this. The US Senate would condemn Khalid Muhammad for telling us relevant knowledge that they didn't tell us about in college. I'm no Muslim, but I support my brother Muslim for real. The wisdom he passed on is worth a bullet for my brother Muslim. Fighting for black supremacy, white supremacy reign is over. The generation to come are true soldiers, not listening to Mom Dukes, or they won't listen to you. They're faster, blacker, and taller. They're even stronger too. They always know your secrets, like the white Jesus is nothing but a slave sea ship, you bitch. Yeah.
Feel this one for a second.
All he talked about is money, ice and fast cars. No mention of who gave up black back scars. I got him behind bars. White men commit little crime and do little time. Cause white help whites and not black anytime. Innocent blacks and Hispanics are on death row just waiting. Identity mistaken, but they're still guilty. The 6x6 cells with no parole. There are people in our filthy. Plus with the food they stingy. Once you get locked, you can't wait to get home. Just ask Capone's been there. Initiates walk around in fear. Mind control, show prestige through clothes. Egyptian means burnt face on the dynasty before they hit souls. Was copper tone, not brass, or burnt grass. They drink out of Satan's flask for last. And with their friends, leave the motherland to go to Aspen just for winter drafts. Then come back to get vaccinated. Africans need to be liberated, not emancipated or assassinated. I'm leaving you captivated. I shall volume 2. You never know why we do what we do.
You can find me standing next to Michael the angel, like a sword to your navel. My train of thought is fatal, leaving bodies hanging from lights with wire cables. Revolutionary, like I was born in a stable. Spread my wings at the top of the morning. Air raids on Pentagon like Taliban's warrant. Son, it's a setup. My team get the fuck that our fallen cats get up. Don't wanna see none of my riders get wet up. Murder scene bloody, while you think I'm good, company. Sticking up the kids and extorting them all for money. Like Robin Hood, how I steal from the bad and give to the good. every hour on a backwoods. In the bushes with glowing eyes to ambush the devil's spies and push you tells lies. It's all bullshit, sever the ties. While rebel children run, burning your flags in the street. FLT running around masked up with gold teeth. Sniper in the penthouse, we're trying to flood the rats out. Walk him off the cliff, Grandmaster get punched in his mouth. Busters live, push him off to enjoy the trip. No charges to stick, grab a nuts in my dick. From the top of my lungs, a chant genetically bred. The whole city in a trance, straight looking for feds. Set up a hanging tree, see how much you bring back dead. Not even stopping when we catching them up in the deathbed. IHF.
Jack, yo shit, volume 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't fool me, bro. You can't make me true. Thinking that God sent a line, pedophiles give me hope. Frequent versions, bound foot and hands. You take the energy negatively to become a new man. I'm reasoning with human shamans, masons from black lodges. Young African men who move to slave conscious from themselves to Satan's closets. They're getting the knowledge that you took away plus more. Eventually, we'll be mentally, genetically bred for war. I'm not an expert anatomy, but the devil's not in me at all. The devil's three devils and goddesses, we goddesses and gods. Religions cause balls. We always shit call your balls. Most of y'all don't listen. Take bitches and give you swords. How come when you move a girl it's related to swords? Hugging is getting the first base, but most of y'all niggas are trying to score. Instead of finding yourself one goddess and keeping it pure, you wanna be a jealous man, oh fuck law. Oh no.
Stay humble, yeah. You gotta stay humble. So do you really wanna piss off this humble man? Understand I have the right to monkey wrench your plan. I could react out of character and put up your drill. Because I'm humble, you expect me to chill for real? Well, let me tell you what's really good. I'm liable to snap if I don't smoke her backwards. You think I'm joking? My wife begs me to leave my knife at home. Man, them always running down low. When I snap at a zone, I might snatch at the door. The study's locked off the ass, but I don't walk my phone. Faggots, they bite the dust, so they bite on curves. Railing UFO land, I'm playing with my last nerves. Like Ben, playing the banjo, hotbox in the cage. I'm that rebel slave, throwing life back in the grave. Trying to reach heights while you want me at my age. Why is the only reason why I bust my gauge? Do you really want to piss me off? Change your mind. I try to break you out this mental pen made to confine. Your men from mature and no more exploration. What is that called? A whole brain dead nation. My friends been waiting for me to stop killing devils. Azazel must have taught me to have lust for metal. I was the killer machine of the century. The motherfuckers don't even know what that meant to me. K-A-G-S-E-O used to be my slogan. I'm incredible, but not a ball tan Hulk Hogan. Like a Rasta man trying to whip your wise man. So sick cops afraid will come out of my pen. Cops call me when they see me perform on stage. I got a message and I'm trying to reach it on front page. You wanna slow me down, you wanna break my legs. That's why I think so many of y'all folks are working for feds. You wanna waste my time, when we bust around. That's why I'm so rude, people tell them go talk to Brown. He's her next cat, sick of fools testing his patience. Singing cheap, I don't bother me, the crackhead vagrants. Remember that shit, sus? IHL.
Hey yo, don't get retarded.
Yo, they tried to blindfold the masses, so we started up classes at Mid-Scarborough to expose the plans of this fashion. Posing like a liberal, what does it mean to be free? Invisible majority working for your luxury. Like helicopter rides, sands collide. Surface to air missiles, seek out where you hide. Molotov cocktail for your panic room. I'm like a spirit you woke when you enter my tomb. Love crushing gargamel since I left my mother's womb. And sniping off witches flying on their broom. Pick them off like a black hawk down. Spray off the snake of this town. This time we wake up these clowns. Lion paw grip, clap on my hip, drop the shoulders, train for Armageddon and shit. I'm not into jihad, but space got a sample. When Armageddon kicks off, Babylon get trampled up to dismantle. All the hard work they put in, torture cops for life so bad they stay shooken. I tried to cover up my lust for hunting banshees, fleeing the crime scene on my Jeep Comanche. I tried 50 steps, but that shit insults my patience. I tried studying my history from the ancients. I tried rapping about revolting, but it seems like the only thing they want to hear is about my heat smoking. So I let keep poking my people's like the enemy. Remember the system watches dead, lock that in the memory. Presidents can't even escape, just ask Kennedy. But everything comes to an end eventually. You wanna hook, let me hear you say, fuck the system. Yeah. Fuck the system. All of my people sick of being a victim. Now watch out, Huey Heights fix up. Go Ernie, you sleep with birds for sucky. Still play with rubby duckies, y'all not into that fuckery. Let's see you live on the life of government check. Your children and wife would leave your life all be wrecked. I'm sure you'd see the light from a different light. Yo, every penny that you obtain fits you had to fight. No expensive suits, no expensive dinners. Pure cooked food at home and no shopping sprees except from Willis. Yo, what a bunch of killers. Yo, rent short, fridge empty, what? Yo, but y'all still can't join a club. Y'all know you and Bert, y'all shit too much time in the tub. Y'all wanna hook, let me hear you say, fuck the system. Fuck the system, but fuck the system. I'm sick and tired of being the blood clot victim. So come and watch me fix them. Set up a barricade in front of the Boydum squadron. Rush every door at the same time, no party. Rooftop snipers picking our fellow comrades. Fed youth getting kidnapped from school grads. I check, jack your shit. You know how it goes. Yo, what up, Hench? Yeah. You don't know, but now you're gonna know. Yo, straight rise on this side. I just don't hide on the face. Gaze glide like I'm doing a real slide. The devil has a face, God. He's not a horn with a tail. He's your boss in the suit and tie. Lead me off course. We speak in Morse while most cross and get lost. Then end up carrying the burden around the neck with a cross. Idiots walking around with their shirt tucking their drawers to show that they're wearing Hill Figure and Sean John for status. Following laws of the devil, not God. 10 commandments are easier to follow than my outlaws. Thou shalt not kill, but blood still from Canaanland cause. Get your nose broke like encores when you catch it like camcorders.
Woo! IHF, Sun Falcon, Simon Phoenix, that RBG Black Power rap from back in the day that we were on. So we've been to all the schools, you know what I mean? Don't even play around with me. Been to all the schools. The reason why somebody would give a thumbs down is because forget trolls and whatever like that. Dirty Moors. Forget trolls. They have nobody. Dirty Moors. And we as Moors have a prophet. He been told us about these bastards out here. 300 followers. 300 followers, but you have 10,000 views on a video? The hell are you talking about? Who are you fooling? You really fooling. You really didn't realize that the thing fell, imploded on itself? Still playing around that there's conscious community and all that BS? You see, people took people's money to build a school, never showed no school yet. Now they're making a return and people still gonna go the f out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, don't forget about the dirties, Angel. You never, ever forget about the dirties. Never in your life forget about the ones on your side who sold you out, which is why you're struggling right now. Every problem that you have with these Europeans who came into your land and they're stressing you out with some papers in the mail, your own is why that's going on. Not them. They're just doing what they do. You already know how the European gets down. I know a secret. He knows himself. Yeah, I'm a colonizer. I go places, and then it's mine. Just what it does. Don't get mad. Don't hate, because you created that monster, Frankenstein, that you're running from, called the white man, Mr. Black Man. So you already know what Farrakhan told you about Yakub and all that stuff, so stop playing games. You already know what you did. I don't care what you call yourself, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Native, whatever, Hebrew, Israelite, Egyptian, whatever.
Kemetic, Rastafarian, Garveyite, whatever you call yourself, NAACP, whatever. Whatever it is you call yourself, remember, you're the one that made them. So stop the BS now. Since you want to play that you're whatever you want to be, okay, fine. Be whatever you want to be. You guys, who are the originals of the whatever and all that stuff, but you call yourself black whatever, Moors whatever, you're the one responsible. So now what are you going to do now? You're responsible. I'm taking mine, right? Because I say that I'm a Moor. We know we put our own in slavery. We know we put Europeans in slavery. We know that we did madness too as Moors. That's where Europeans got it from. Because nobody did madness like the Moors. Forget Hyksos and whoever. Moors had people running for their lives. Running. Moors had people paying millions in today's money. Millions. Whether you want to use gold, silver, Bitcoin, whatever they got. And all that's because you created them. Don't get mad now. Let's see what you're going to do now. Are you going to take responsibility for this beast that you created, that you're complaining about right now is doing all this BS to you? Put you in slavery and all this stuff like that. Okay, so now, okay, you created him. He's doing that because he learned that from you. He was in the cage or whatever, in the big cylinder in the water, being created. He was watching the stuff you're doing in the lab, all the F stuff you're doing in the lab. Bringing the lady there in the night, give her the back shots because it's your lab and all that type of stuff. You could do what you want. Doing madness. Now you're complaining. Don't complain. Don't complain. Too late. So with all the madness that the Moors did, we owned up to ours. Because we're still saying that we're Moors. We're not running from being Moors because the Moors enslaved some people. We're not running from being Moors because, oh, and you said that a Moor did the, and then the Moor got arrested because the Moorish American and red flag, green star, and sovereign citizen. Stop saying being a, why would I stop being a Moor? What do you mean stop being a Moor? And Chinese don't stop being Chinese when Chinese guy does something crazy. And nobody's not even looking, oh, I see what that Chinese guy did. Oh my gosh, those other Chinese guys, you guys don't play that BS with other people, but you want to play that BS with Moors. Stop playing. Stop the BS. And go check. Don't forget, Angel. Go check all the other videos, and all you're going to see is 1 thumbs down, 2 thumbs down, 1 thumbs down, no thumbs down, no thumbs down for about 200 videos, and then a thumbs down will come in. Because you can't stop. You can't stop. The only way you're going to stop 2,000 videos is shut down YouTube. Too much videos for them to even go through and say, okay, this one, this one. Don't be surprised. It's not about just information. It's about pertinent information for individuals who are on a certain frequency. Don't worry, Moors already had their plates 10 years. What are you talking about? This doesn't work and we're not Moors. Find me a Hebrew Israelite, find me an Egyptian, whatever, find me a Rastafarian, Garveyite, go down the list of all, the Nation of Islam, wherever. That could show me they've been repping their own plates for 10 years. I'll bring you 5 Moors who I know personally. I'll bring you another 5 Moors who got El Bay on their passport. You want to talk BS? This is not real. I'll bring you 10 Moors who they didn't even go in the court and say anything. They just went in there, and then there's nothing. There's nothing for them on the record for them to do anything. They just leave. And they have tickets or fines or whatever. One thing, this isn't been happening. You just got on this. You think that this is not. This has been going on since 1913. What are you talking about? This has been going on longer than the NOI. What you mean? We're still Moors. We're still here. We started 1913. They're still here. But they started 1930, and then you're not looking at who was before them. You know, no questions at all. Just gonna stop at 9. Just like with you know, your Eurocentric thinking that you're just gonna stop at slavery, and then that's where you start. And then you're gonna skip over the 100 years of the Moors ruling the world, and then talk about some Egyptian whatever. But you're not Moor. You're Egyptian, and then you jumped over 800 years, and then became a slave in America because some people brought you somewhere. And then that's what it's about. That no one can say to a Moor or about Moors that this isn't whatever. You're talking BS. Because like I showed you, we've been through RBG and all those schools of thought, so no RBG could tell me anything about that's what it's about. Tripping. I've been there. Don't tell me. Just like the Moor said, hey, I already went through the TSA twice with nationality card, so I don't know what this guy is talking about that this doesn't work. So Johnny come latelys don't get hype and think that, you know, you just start making videos and you think that you just could talk crazy about something that's been around forever. Longer than anything that anybody out here is claiming. Especially the so-called Aboriginal, Indigenous whatevers that claim that they're everything except Moors. They claim everything and doing their best to influence people to think that you're not Moors. Like to show you for example, right? Where, let's say, Moors who don't reach the people like this, Moors who just do whatever it is that they do, right, in their own whatever. Majority of those Moors, if they did a lecture, your brain will turn to water. Because where they're at. Just come from somebody who's Grand Sheik and Moor Science Temple and all that, whatever, quote unquote, titles. We have a temple and all of that. You think because I have Grand Sheik whatever, I'm the only one that has some info or something? This is a birthright. And only one individual told us. One individual told us. Everybody else played games that we're all these other things and we're this and we're that and we're from here and we're from there. But we are, you know, and just like the Moor said in the chat, you know, thanks for the reminder. This could be the kickoff for our as usual, correcting Black History Month. If anything black is dead, and stop playing. We don't have to prove that we're Moors. You have to prove you're not a Moor. We've already been Moors. Like, this is why we say, this is why we ended with the instrumental. It's mine instrumental with the line for the name of the thing for today. No suit, no wake, no funeral, no casket for the Black Native American Aboriginal, not Moors BS. How you everything except Moors? If they're gonna lead you, right up to salvation and then stop you like right at it and say, hold on a second. We just want to stop and say thanks to the ancestors for getting us to, and then you're standing there for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours go by, salvation's right there, and guys playing around with you. You're just gonna stand there, or are you gonna do something about it? We even look at how now we know as Moors that we're Aboriginal and Indigenous. Our tribe will be, Cherokee, whatever. That's just what it is. We would go to Indigenous, we wouldn't say powwows, but community centers, wherever. You might be on the street, but you actually meet people who are quote unquote claiming the Indian. Like, they're claiming that. Yes, the Indian. They have a card that says it and all that. In the background, they know that the card is some BS. They know that they're not Indian. They know that they have to honor their ancestors, and they know about their culture, but they don't play that they're Indian. Now these are the later ones. And you're talking to them, and they're telling you about, yeah, of course there's fezzes in our culture because we got the stuff from you. Now, this quote-unquote Indian is only talking like this because he knows he's not talking to a black guy. To say, as a quote-unquote native Indian, that they would say red man, bow and arrow guy with the leather little mason apron and whatever. Those guys would tell you, our stuff came from you. And those guys would not say that they're Indian when they talk to you on a one-way. Because they know that that was given to them by the colonizer. And it's so crazy. It reminds me about the Jews and the Moors in Spain. And how they had their, little codes or whatever in order for them to secretly be on some Judaism. Because they're taking heads if they find out. It's not, oh, well, whatever. Like, they're taking heads if they find out. they know that the reserve is like what they did with the quote-unquote black Indians and made them slaves. There was no slave ship. When these people started coming inland and they realized, hold on a second, everybody's just peaceful and docile or whatever. Oh, this is easy pickings. What do you mean? You're just walking and you're just kicking gold nuggets. What do you mean people have a farm? They've been had whatever it is. Rape and pillage is going on. That's all. They call that slavery. This is the red guys now. On a one-away because they know that they messed up when they took the Indian, whatever. When they start doing treaties with these Europeans in land that's not theirs even, because they're not the true heirs. The true heirs for over here is our Moroccans. And again, Henry Turner proved that when they got their 68,000 acres. And they weren't talking about BS about Indians. They were talking about no Indians. So these people can't play around about there's some indigenous whatever, but they're not Moors. Because even fake Indians know that we're Moors. The hell are you telling me you look like me, and you're telling me that you're not a Moor? But if I talk to this Arab over here, he's going to say, oh yeah, you guys Moors. Oh yeah, this is Morocco over here. But they want to play games. Don't let them play games with you. Because this is about your spiritual evolution. Like if you are not going to spiritually evolve, you are useless to the scheme of things. Because everybody plays a part. This is not some one-man show, some guy up there. Everybody plays a part in this. And being Moors is how we put those parts together. Because you realize that it's about nationhood. It's not about tribes. And just calling yourselves things. It's about nationality and birthrights. And like we say, all your greats told you. All your greats told you. There's a lot more. I know I had you there a bit. Peace, war.
Peace, war.
Yo, Islam. Not a little rant there.
So good, you know how it is.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me hear you straight.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, proper. Yeah, more. So I don't know if you saw. Well, first of all, before that, you have anything to just throw in before we start anything?
Not really. Nothing but how ignorant this dude is. It's comical now. It really is. He's real emotional right now. But
Yeah, it's getting mad.
we'll go ahead and put it to bed shortly.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we have to continually use their master teachers. So we already know what's up. Not saying that the master teachers aren't ours, but we have a certain level of respect and honor. So we use them. So don't debate Morris. Go debate John G. Jackson. Go debate John Henry Clark. And this is Introduction to African Civilizations. Page 157. Chapter 4. Africa and the Civilizing of Europe. The Empire of the Moors. And that's it. If you want, you go find the book or whatever. But if John G. Jackson, their scholar guy, knows about a Moorish empire. Now, if we're talking about a Moorish empire, again, only one individual told us its exact coordinates. Only one individual told us. John G. Jackson gave us a reference point so we can know what it is. Just in the title of the chapter, Africa and the Civilizing of Europe, the Empire of the Moors. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. From verse 6. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit Northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. And then he followed that up. Remember, he said Moroccan Empire. And he followed that up with the 101 questionnaire. Asking the question 12, what is his nationality? Meaning Noble Drew Ali. Moorish American. What is your nationality? Moorish American. 13. 14. Why are we Moorish Americans. Why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? For the uplifting of fallen humanity. We are descendants of Moroccans born in America. And Noble Jawali said, Moroccan Empire. Because it's very clear that he knew what he was doing in saying what he was saying. He was putting it perfectly together for us so we can get the point. Because he knew that we didn't get the point. We didn't recognize that we were standing on our vast estate and that we were not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian, which ties to anything being a fiction. So none of the fictions can you be. You could only be what your ancient foremothers and forefathers were, without doubt or contradiction. And we'll see how contradicting it is. That's dark. I mean,
Okay, so y'all heard him for yourself. He said a Moor is dark skinned. So these Moors, they like to use etymology online. And etymology online has not been credible for years. I made a video about this. I didn't prove that. Let's deal with the word dark. Okay, so they say Moors are dark skin. So Middle English, dark, later dark, without light. So when you are without light, how does your skin get color? So you can't be dark skinned, right? Okay, lacking light or brightness. So when you add dark, to skin, you're saying lacking light skin or lacking brightness skin. What else? Sad skin, cheerless skin, sinister, wicked skin. All right, now let's go to the noun. Absence of light, nighttime. Figurative in the dark, in a state of ignorance, skin. So whenever somebody say you're dark skinned, that shit is not even real. It's not even a real word.
Well, we know it's not real. That's why we say that we're Moorish American. Because it's not about being dark. If you look at copper compared to a nickel or a dime, copper is dark. A black olive compared to a green olive, because it's merely descriptive. Merely. Because we know it's olive. We're not concerned about what color it is. It's always an olive. Oh, just like the great example that we talked about last night. No matter where a German Shepherd goes, no matter where a German Shepherd goes, it's always going to be German Shepherd. It's not going to go to China and be a yellow shepherd. Or then play around with you, trying to make this about some adjective. We know we're not adjectives. That's why we say that we're Moors.
Can nobody be dark skinned? You're calling yourself something negative skin, a negative skin. You see what I'm saying? So that's one blow. More is like using etymology online, right? So let's go to another word. Let's go to moor. The verb moor, to fasten a vessel by a cable, a mooring rope. So it's letting you know this is like a rope. Let's go to the noun moor.
Oh, but you just stop there. Because the whole concept of moor having to do with fastening a rope, because the only thing that you're mooring is with a boat. So it really comes down to the point that the individuals who were Moors, that were the only people that were on these seas out here, any sea, Moors were on it, is the reason why mooring came about. Don't get caught up with the rope and all that stuff. Get caught up with the history behind why it's called mooring. Why isn't it not called blacking? Why isn't it called negroing? Negro the boat. Why is it called Kemeticking? Why is it called mooring? Why mooring? Why not something other than mooring? Don't talk about one blow and all that BS. You're talking BS. And this is how it's been. We make you guys famous and then you disappear. All you pins are getting knocked down. No matter, put them back up, put them all back up again. Oh, strike again. Don't put them back up again. Put them up. Strike again. Because trust that weird shield. Work's getting done. That's why certain people don't have to. Yeah, more.
Hey, well, you know, when you're talking about Moors using online dictionaries and such.
Yeah. Talk about that.
I generally don't. I generally don't do it. Not to say that you can't, but I got 100 and what is it? 100 and well, my dictionary is from 1851, Noah Webster, and when it's talking about Moors and it relates to Morocco, and we know that Morocco was in 1956 over there in Africa. I'll just read it real quick, and it has 1, 2, 3. It has 4 entries for Moor in there also, but the one he read was correct out of the dictionary. But there's also one in there that says a native of the a native of the northern coast of Africa, called by the Romans for the color of the people. Mauritania, the country of the dark complexion people. The same country is now called Morocco, Tunis, and Algiers. Well, and there we have Morocco again. The dictionary itself is from 1851.
Back it up again, because I'm pretty sure I heard dark in there too. I don't hear them debating Noah Webster about using dark and about it being negative and all that BS.
Hey, again, I'll read it one more time for you. A native of the northern coast of Africa, called by the Romans for the color of the people. Mauritania, the country of the dark complected people. The same country
little faded. You see how old it is. The same country is now called Morocco, Tunis, and Algiers. And just speaking on Morocco again, the dictionary itself is from 1851. The Morocco they're speaking of is 1956. So, I mean, I don't know how you're going to correlate that part.
Right.
It's getting ridiculous.
There's no correlation. It's all part of divert the people's attention who don't have enough to see the folly.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys are champions amongst the unstudied.
Yeah, yeah. You know, these are the unstudied gods.
It's getting crazy. But again, my main thing, like the brother CM Bay say, it's just people that it's fear that has these people crippled in this manner. Yep. Fear and ignorance.
Yep.
And nothing else. You know.
Nothing else. You know. And the real one to overcome is the ignorance, because once you overcome that, fear is automatically done.
Indeed. The only reason why you fear is because you're ignorant. You don't know. You fear the unknown.
Right.
And here it is. You know, they're expressing their fear because these things are unknown to them and they're fearful. It seems like they're fearful of losing these Indian titles. I mean, they holding on so dear to them. I guess it gave them a distinction from being black before, you know, Moorish hit the scene and let everybody know, you know, again, who and what we are. Yeah. So it seems like they're just clinging on to something. The threads are snapping on that thing you're holding on to, though.
Crazy.
Yield.
Yeah, Islam. Right. Don't let them play their little game. Don't let them play their little games. We are Moors. No doubt or contradiction.
Interject. You know, even when they do contradict, there's places you can go and check it out for yourself. You know, like again, that proclamation from Atlanta, it tell you in there, it's saying that the Moors are the mothers and fathers of the human family. And you know, again, you can go to Article 4 in the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, which you speak of a lot, and they tell you got full faith and credit on these public acts. That's why they got full faith and credit on that Indian Removal Act too. They gave it to you. Hey, they putting it down on paper, on the records for everybody to see for themselves. It's just time for everybody to quit listening to guys like this. Like you always say, GS, where was this guy back in 2008?
Yeah.
Where were you? You know?
Yep. Oh yeah, make sure we start using their stuff and start thumbs down and all their shit.
Oh yeah, he's gonna stay thumbs down. And as soon as I see a thumbs down, I knew it was him because he was so mad.
No, because you know it's either them not getting their little whatever for not doing their job, or you know they're going back to couch surfing or whatever. You know, but
like, what do these guys do? Like, what do you do? Like, you know, I hear him on a video saying he had been sick for a minute, so he wasn't able to post no videos. And then you got reading in his comments, you got people, you know, backing him, and they have no knowledge of self themselves. He's saying we don't know ourselves. It's just like, I don't know, what do you call it, an oxymoron or something like that? Yeah. It's like, here we are telling you the truth about knowing yourself, and here you are telling me falsehoods and saying I don't know myself. It's like, what, bro? Like, come on, man. You can't be serious here. It's like, you have to be willfully ignorant or a paid agent, or paid or unpaid, because I guess some of these people just want to fight tooth and nail for that fame and nobility, like the prophet always told us. That's what it seems like this guy's seeking. That's all I can smell on him.
For real.
I yield on partner. Keep spinning wheels. He ain't going nowhere.
Keep spinning wheels.
Go ahead. Stop, man.
Waste ground, swamp. So this is where the Moors get this shit from. Where Moor means land. Moor means
right. And again, you have to ask the question. Why would waste ground swamp mean more? How's all the words go back to more? Proto-Germanic, M-O-R something. Dutch, M-E-R. Old High German, M-U-O-R. German, M-O-R. Norse, M-O-R. Like, it doesn't stop. They're trying to make that's a bad thing. How come it's not black means swamp land? How come all the stuff people call their stuff doesn't mean things? We already have 2 examples of things that people do every day because there's boats everywhere. So there's mooring always going on once there's a boat around. And there's always going to be water around probably. So boats are going to be needed. So there's always going to be mooring. Swamp, waste ground, yeah, there's always going to be that. More meaning land. Look at it bigger than how these people want you to look at it. Look at it on those shallow terms. Like ground is not useful. Ground is important. The ecosystem needs swamps. It's non-study time for people. Just go, just push record. Just push live. And people out here. No, oh yeah, like this one. I found this one too. People telling on themselves. Right, this is supposed to be your RBG guys. What you guys reckon?
Do you think that they... Let me pull this up. From sea to shining sea. Do you think that they went west in a westward expansion? Do you think that they came from here in a Trail of Tears all the way to Oklahoma? You think all that happened because they knew that? Man, it was the Trail of fucking Tears. We know you here, motherfucker. We're going to march your ass all the way over there. Over. I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers think. That they think that they're going to prove some immaculate shit. And then the Moors. Oh, man. Hold on. We got to bring them up. Let's bring them up. Let me see if I can get a picture of a modern Moor, the new Moor. Where they at? Oh, maybe I got to put it American. Let me see what come up. Is it? There they go. The Moors. Well, hold on. Here we go.
No, this is
water. This is where they get this shit from. Now let's go to the next now. Moor, African Berber, North African Berber, inhabitants of Mauritania, Northwest Africa. So how can Moors be indigenous?
Oh, you want to know how? Guess what? A chunk of Africa was found underneath southeastern America. So if Africa, hold on a second. So Africa is supposed to be over there. And then Moor is North African. All right. And then geoscientists have identified a chunk of Africa stuck onto soil. Why would Africa be over here? Now, once again, when we go to this individual by the name of Noble Juali, he said in the 101 questionnaire, question 31, what is the modern name for Moabites, Moroccans? 32, where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest Amexem. What is the modern name for Amexem? Africa. All right, and then geoscientists, not guy at the corner selling DVDs. Now, if Africa's here and America's here and Mujali said a maxim, Northwest Africa, then geoscientists saying Africa's also over here. No wonder people in the world know this.
Bashar, and he also knows that North America or North America is known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa.
Of course, I know that. North America was known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa, and it reported to Sultan of Morocco. And there was a relation. This is why I needed to ask you, what's the relation between the first, colonials and the governors of Morocco, because they communicated, because on paper it was part of Greater Morocco.
So America is part of Greater Morocco, which is in North Africa over there. Then Noble Juali said that the dominion and inhabitation of the Moroccan Empire extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the Great Atlantis. Across the Great Atlantis, not the Great Atlantic Ocean. Across the, do you know how many people were talking about Atlantis in 1913? You know, he just said Atlantis. Great Atlantis, think about 1913 and where people's mindset would be. And here comes the individual telling them about Atlantis. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, Central America, and also Mexico and Atlantis Islands. Before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. Hold on a second. So if there was a great earthquake that caused the great Atlantic Ocean, then that means the dominion and inhabitation from northeast and southwest Africa across the great Atlantis unto the present North and South Central America and also the Atlantis Islands, there was no water separating them, which is why the geoscientists found a chunk of Africa over here. So stop playing, because we know even if we say we're African, we're indigenous. FOH. But we know that we're Moors. And Africa is a code name for Moors. Because of Scipio conquering, quote unquote, Africa, which was just that northern part, Tunis, Tripoli, Algiers, and all the stuff which has to do with the Moors. And nobody else. Always everything comes back to these Moors and their relations with these Europeans. It should be clear that we're Moors. Long, mysterious, no, let's see if I can find this. There's a lot more. You have any interjections? Let's see.
Oh, no, you good, Mo. Go ahead, do your thing.
Page 160, The Real Moors in America, a compilation by Sister Tahiti, Naji Ula L, and Victor Taylor L. For the education and enlightenment of the Moorish American community. Moors in America. You can get it at Khalifa Media. Don't go for the imposters who want to play debate games. Page 160. The Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. There is another work which is part of the Old Testament designed as J.E., which is combination of the J priesthood and the E priesthood. It became obvious that this work was done by someone from Judah who had both the works came into contact of possession of the works of E, coming from Israel, with the remnants of Israel who came to Judah after Israel was destroyed by the Assyrian king Sennacherib in 722 BCE. P, priestly code, alternative to combined JE. It was found that there was another work which focused on the priesthood and was designated P, which stands for the priestly code. Since this work dealt primarily with issues involving and promoting the priesthood, ancient places, names in the United States that exist to this day. See if you can find Morocco, Tunis, Algiers, Moab, Mecca, Arabia, Turkey, Tripoli, Atlantis, Patmos, Egypt, Turkey, Sudan, Dahomey, Zion, etc. Coincidence? Modern names: Nova Scotia, ancient names: Scotland, New York State, Germany, Virginia, England. California, Spain and Japan. Montana, Spain. Alabama, Egypt. Louisiana, Algeria. Ohio, Libya. Sandusky, Antioch. Chicago, Mecca. Detroit, Medina. Venezuela, Rome. Argentina, Europe. Names in America of Moorish Muslim descent. Now, geoscientists. A long mysterious zone of unusual magnetism that stretches from Alabama through Georgia and offshore to the North Carolina coast appears to be the suture behind ancient rocks that formed when parts of America and North America were pressed together 250 million years ago. If so, Africa could have left a lot more behind than the American Southeast. When the co-joined continents rifted apart and formed the Atlantic Ocean. Same thing that Noble Juali said. Names of America, names in America of Moorish Muslim descent. America, Amir, Amer, Ameri, Icus. California, Khalifa. Carolina, Car, C-A-R hyphen K-A-R hyphen K-O-R-A-N. Carolina. Alabama. Ali, Ba, Mu. Mobile. Mu, Ba, El. Tallahassee. Ta, Allah, Si. The descendants of the Muslim visitors of North America are members of the present Iroquois, Algonquin, Anasazi, Hohokam, and Olmec native people. That connection lets it be known. That's why Noble Juali can say in his literature, descendants of Africans. But it still means that we're indigenous. These people have to stop playing.
So y'all can't say you're indigenous. Remember, this, you guys are using etymology online. So you can't say you're indigenous anymore, right? Let's go to something else. So how can Moors be Berbers when this right here is what I'm gonna read to you guys from oh man, I think I messed up. The Negro Act of 1740. This is the year 1740, right? This is the year 1740. So we're going to go to section 4. The term Negro is confined to slave Africans, the ancient Berbers and their descendants. It does not embrace the free inhabitants of Africa, such as the Egyptians, Moors, or the Negro Asiatics, such as the Lascars. So once again, the Moors have to answer this question. If you're going to use etymology online, so you have to use everything. You can't pick and choose what you want to use. So either you are a slave, an African, North African Berber, or are you free inhabitants of Africa? Make up your mind.
I already told you. Anyone who is approaching you from some perspective of Africa's only over there, know that they're playing you. Because we just showed you the geoscientists letting you know that Africa's over here too. We just read all the names of different places over here with names just like over there. So don't try to say over here is not Africa. Because there's even, just to go back again, go back again.
Bashar, and he also knows that North America North America is known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa.
Of course, I know that. North America was known as Al Maghreb Al Aqsa, and it reported to Sultan of Morocco.
Morocco is an empire. Morocco is an empire. No matter how many kingdoms are created out of that empire, and then how many nations are created out of that kingdom, there's always still going to be that empire there. There's always going to be the empire there. Which is why the brother could say that it's known. I know that. What I want to know is how the hell are they having relations in America? They're supposed to be Morocco over there. What do you mean they had relations over here? Why would they talk to people over there to be over here? Unless here and there is the same place. Stop playing around with BS. It's like the saying, it's just an ocean. To somebody who knows how to navigate a boat, it's just an ocean. It ain't big deal. I'm talking about people who think that world is flat and stuff like that. They're going to go off the edge because stuff's flat. Everybody looking at them like they're crazy. The Christians? Hell no, they're heathens. Moroccan Empire. Morocco. Over here. Stop looking over there. Right? And that goes for this one too. Just remember it's over.
So this is to get the story straight about these people claiming that the United States is Morocco because of the Peace and Friendship Treaty.
Yeah. Now, again, United States Corporation. You talk about United States, then you have to talk about United Statesians. If you're not going to talk about United Statesians, shut the hell up about some United States. No Moors talk about United States as Morocco. Zero. United States could never ever be Morocco. Stop the BS with messing around with the Moors. We haven't gone anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're always going to be here. A thorn in your toe. Every step you're going to feel us. And every step we get deeper. If you're going to sacrifice your toe instead of deal with the thorn, then You sacrifice that toe then. You can't even show me an Aboriginal Indigenous identification card. You're a council of something. A council of what? Oh, put your papers up. You see that red Indian papers that you got? Bet you got it from some European.
So which one are you going to use? Are you going to use the laws, or are you going to use public information? Because public information does not make it credible. So let's go. Where do I want to go? I want you guys to listen to this too. This is Canaanland Moore was talking to this white boy. We're going to go back. I'm going to replay this for you. Because this is when these people start looking like enemies of the Indians.
Let me ask you a question again, because we have these people who look like us, right?
Yep.
That say that they're black Indians or that they're American Indians.
Yes, I've heard that for many years.
Yeah. Could you speak on the fraud of being an American Indian or a black Indian, and why they should gravitate toward being Moors instead of black Indians and American Indians?
On the internet, that was called Pinterest. It was just some bullshit thing to pass the time. But it kept having all these things pop up because of my interest in certain native culture, Aboriginal culture, and it would come up all the time. Black Americans, black Native Americans, these are the real, and none of it was real. None of it was any foundation.
Now, you heard the white boy say none of it was real, none of it is any foundation. So how can this white motherfucker, how can you agree with this white motherfucker?
Yeah, he's bad.
Man.
He's bad. He's so bad right now. Why? Because the truth's supposed to hurt you. The truth's supposed to hurt. And you're supposed to turn that hurt around and learn something. Instead of trying to be some counsel of some fake American Indian BS. Mad. Because the individual who says that they're native, regardless of what they look like, is saying all that black stuff is BS. I mean, black Indians or whatever. That's a fraud. Knows it. Knows that it's a fraud. Right? But will say absolutely nothing. Would say absolutely nothing about the welcome totem. Wearing a fez. Wouldn't even bring that up. Wouldn't even bring it up. Would dance around and not address the fact that, hey, hold on a second. Anybody who has any type of awareness is going to say, hold on a second. Why is that wooden thing wearing a fez? Maybe I need to look into it, because that wooden thing is not a Mason. We know that. We know that wooden thing's not a Turk. We know that wooden thing has to do with Aboriginal indigenous culture in the Americas. Just looking at that. You just look at it. Oh yeah, that's some Native American thing. All right, why is it wearing a fez? Obviously it's not Native American, it's Moor. Because only Moors wear fezzes. All the Moor haters know that. Go ask them. It is sink or swim time right now. Because we're already on the boat. We already told you boat left the dock already. So if we look around and you're not on the boat, Just sorry for you. You better know how to swim.
No, black people don't know how to swim. That's crazy too. You take the Moor who is from the water, seafaring, and you turn him black, and he don't even know how to tread water no more. So that's to show you how far lost we are. They tell, that's a known thing. It's a funny joke and everything, but most Moors don't know how to swim. Look how they took you from what you know. You were swimming in your mother's womb. That's, from the navel, and that's even talking about navigating and all these things again. That's even where you get the ill from, where we get ill from Eloah and Elohim. All the things these people talk about. It's like, why are you running from your own grandeur? Right. Why? Like that's my thing to these brothers. Like, why are you running from it? How about literally study it and then say something? Because the something that you'll have to say will be in accord with what we're saying, because you'll be on the side with the truth again. It's like, quit fighting. Like, why fight?
Like, have you
why fight it?
Have you thought about why they fight? Like, because I've come to some close to it's a psychological glitch or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I can agree with you on that.
That's the furthest I got, because you know what I mean. Or they're just, but certain people, I don't know. It's it could even go into the thing of the ego with the fame and nobility. You know what I mean?
That's one of the major ones.
Yeah.
The ego. Most definitely the ego. Like say for instance, since he posted it, I checked out his comments, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking to see how, I just had to call it what it is. It's like other copper, whatever the hell, indigenous and all that they want to call themselves. They just really in there just dick riding. They don't know what's going on. They just really just saying, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just like a feel good thing for them. Yeah. It's like the new church, you know what I'm saying? It's like church to these people. I don't get it, man. It's just like, I don't know, you want your freedom or you don't. Like you fighting against the people that's trying to get you free with the information. It's like, here, you take this and free yourself. You know what I'm saying? Then you come and group up. Like we're telling you, yeah, we understand that Choctaw and all this and whatever you want to call the Indian, whatever Indian you want to be, you're a Moor. Just say that. Why did the Wachita Empress say that she's a Moor? But you have like this guy, he probably like, is he on a reservation or is he in the hood? Like, if you're such an Indian, why aren't you at least getting that? Or do you at least have your tax exemption or any of those Indian things that you claim to be? Do you have those? Or are you just claiming to be something just because you're just fighting it just for the fuck of it?
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
Yeah, I hear you.
There's a lot more.
Like I was saying in part 1 of the video, this is part 2. This is a follow-up. Now, as me being a part of the Indian race, and my nation and tribe is Choctaw, in our language, Hatak Upi Hama, a red man, a man of a red trunk or stalk, pretty much a redskin, an Indian, a native of America, aborigines of America, aboriginals of America. So what I want for you Moors to do, show me what nation you descend from and what language, states that you are a Moor.
You find a language. I just showed you in your other video. You just showed yourself. You looked up more. And it gave you all these different languages. Dutch, English, Low German, Old High German, Latin, which is Moorish. It's not some European. So when you say which language, we could say Latin. Well, there's more right there. Inhabitant of Mauritania, Northwest Africa, which again we told you is over here, Morocco over here, Algeria over here, Moab over here. All right.
Why they calling themselves red though? Like the only person on the planet I actually ever seen like a red color is the modern European, the ruddy skin. Like so, it's like you calling yourself a modern European pretty much if you want to be the red man.
And it's interesting how Hatak Api Huma translates to English. Why is it translating to English? If Hatak Api Huma is a red man, then it's Atak Hapi Huma. That's not red man. Red man's English. That's not really what it is. It's actually Hatak Api Huma.
How are Moorish speaking the language that he says his people and he can't speak it?
Right. He's speaking English to us, talking about your Choctaw. And stop playing about Choctaw tribe and nation. Stop playing. Which one is it? Because
it better be nation if you're trying to be recognized amongst the human family. This is why you have your nationality, so you can effectuate these things. Like I don't even know, as an Indian, are they like, do they use the rights of indigenous people or any of these things? Because if so, it seems like, you know, they wouldn't be getting taxed, like not just the exemption, they wouldn't be going through none of the things they're going through.
They're going through.
Like for them to, for them to even be getting placed on reservations. If the so-called United States is your land, why are you getting placed in one particular part of it? Like, and can't move off of there with your so-called rights. You can't. Like once you leave the reservation, your rights stay on the reservation. You come out here, you regular degular like everybody else that they running over.
The rights could only be exercised on the reservation.
Yeah, who want the rights to be on the concentration camp though? Like that's what it really is a concentration camp. Those people not doing well over there, they're not. But if they would come back to the human family, then we all would be together. I guess everybody think Moors are against them because we're saying that we're one family, but we're all one family. We're the human family. That's it. It's not really a fight. Like we're trying to unite and unify, but nobody's not going to unify with nobody going contrary to what it really is, though. That's not going to happen.
You know, and opposed to, you know, and should be looking at, okay, well, let me take a look at this. You know what I mean? Like we've said on numerous occasions, said that in the beginning of this, we come from all these schools of thoughts. You know what I mean? Like we've made it to the finish line.
Seriously, man.
You know what I mean? Like we made it to the finish line. Like being more is the school of thought, is where it was supposed to be from the jump. Forget going through all the other whatever we went through. Should have known that we were more from the top.
Yeah. That's what made me go gung ho. Once I got here, I had a bunch of schools of thought piled in, and two, a dirty Moor is the one who told me about us being Moor. And my own study, you know, pulled me away from that.
Yeah.
But shoot, even then, he wasn't even the dirty wasn't hating. He like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like these people, they just, I don't know. I'm really want to figure out why. I wish I could really talk to them. And, you know, why are you so hell bent on not being Moorish American? That's all I really want to know. Like, what's the fight about?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. No, they're not, because some rules or some freaking whatever says that they're Choctaw or whatever.
again, you have a empress, and you know she must be from an empire. She's calling herself an empress, and she's for the so-called Watchisa Indian. So why is it that she can admit it, but that's what it is. That's a mother, and we dealing with males. Males tend to be stuck on that ego.
That patriarchy will get you. That patriarchy will get you.
Matriarch will. Even in her unconscious state, the matriarchs be knowing what's going on, man.
Straight. It's real.
I yield to this guy. It's just like he's just full of emotionalism. I'm a Cancer, so trust me, I know about emotions. He's big on it.
Well, let me repeat that again. What nation or tribe do you come from? If you say you're Moor, what nation or tribe do you come from, and what does Moor mean in that language? Because now we gonna end all this wordplay and all that bullshit, nigga. No, we gonna deal with the laws of the land. We gonna deal with the nations and tribes, languages, and what they mean, nigga. We gonna deal with that, nigga. Because the truth is gonna prevail, nigga. The truth is gonna knock everything out the box, nigga. If you ain't Indian, nigga, you nothing here. You nothing here. I don't want to hear all that shit about we all Moors. No, I don't want to hear it.
I never heard this part.
Oh shit!
I never heard this part.
I can't.
I didn't know it was this bad. He lost it. He lost it.
Funny, yeah?
He went off the deep end.
So if you're not Indian, you're not shit here. Now look, more. I've had my little run-ins with the law and everything. I've been kidnapped, or what they would call extradited, from Georgia to Michigan, and back to Medina. From down here in Georgia back to Medina. Now, once I handled my affairs properly, I sent in a avertment of jurisdiction. That was the simplest thing that I had, because that was all the knowledge I had at that time. At that time, once I sent that in, I no longer got any letters from these people or anything. Only thing they did is, because they knew that I stay in Georgia now, they did not send anything else to Georgia or any of these things. Once I proclaimed my nationality and put it on the record, they left me clean alone. Like, it was more, I seen the window, it was some things I didn't even have to do no more. It was just from the power of the writ, because of how I was feeling. Because again, we know that this is all metaphysical. So it's the mind. I was tired of being abused. So once I figured out that I was being abused and taken advantage of, and I stood up how I was supposed to stand up, and my heart and my mind, I got the favorable reply I needed with no problem. Like, they didn't come down here knocking on my door, but I tell you what, when I was in my Negro colored black state, then they came down here twice interstate. They sent a warrant from Michigan to here, and I was picked up. But once I put that on the record, no more problems, period. Don't hear from them no more. My so-called probation officer at the time, the surrogate mother, she would call me just to make sure I reported, because she felt like I shouldn't have been on the probation. So she was trying to be nice to me. When she got that writ, because she got CC too, no more calls from her either. And she was calling to check on my well-being, but she knew to no longer deal with me on that subject anymore.
Right.
So, hey, with that being said, that let me know that I'm home and that this is for sure. Not only that, I live this daily. I don't do the nom de guerre thing no more unless I absolutely have to for my family, and that ain't came about yet, because I know how to live within contract.
Yeah.
But these dudes, they tripping, man. They just come on home or go hang yourself. What? Like, if you that through with life, just go hang yourself. Get it over with.
Yeah.
I yield on this guy, man. he like halfway irritated. You remember last time you told him, it's somewhere you need to just let them go on them. There's no debate. He one of the ones. Just let go on him. Yeah. No debate.
Yeah. Nothing to debate. We don't know.
Nothing.
We don't know.
I tell you, see, again, we're a nation. You always speak about people getting lined up on a wall or heads rolling. Like, that's what they got to get back to, because then everybody would think before they, before they run
get
your
in
mouth.
order.
You're not just gonna say anything. You wouldn't. I promise you wouldn't. You could see that effect in the hood. You don't say certain things in the hood about certain people because you already know somebody's gonna rain down on you. So you just keep the peace. Yeah, that's cool. Dudes be in a certain hood and not even in that gang, but they gonna say those gang things and nothing against it because they know retaliation coming. Again, I ain't telling Moors to be violent towards nobody or nothing, but hey, it gotta stop and stop somehow, And as Muftis, that's defending the nation with your life.
It's true.
Seriously, that's why I study so much, to make sure that when I put on a black fez, I'm most definitely a Mohammedan judge, and I know what I'm talking about to be able to help our people out. Like, I know we're not supposed to be out here trying to save everybody, but I know I'll be able to help people out because, just being active, people move out of your way. They know what this is. It's just like you got dirties and people like him who think they're Indians looking just like you. So, hey, I'm going to keep running the fraud on y'all until, it's enough of y'all to stand up to stop me. But as long as I got your brothers helping me, hey, it is what it is. Always Moors. There's always been Moors against Moors. It's really not the modern European. It's dudes like him.
Yeah.
Dudes like him. Because that constitutional inferiority complex, it goes two ways. Some Moors don't think that they good enough to have such grandeur in their bloodline. Then you had a modern European, they'll be so upset, like, who do you, they got the who do you think you are type of attitude.
Yeah.
Like the Moor talking about how do they think they could drive without a license? Like, whoa. That's easy. First and foremost, let's just say that license comes from, what is it? Licentis, which is Latin, and which means for one to be sexually and morally depraved criminally by that definition. To be licensed means you are sexually and morally depraved. So I definitely don't want no license. I think that I had those licenses those times. It's a lot of things that people need to watch. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, words hold power, and once you speak these things, you know what I mean. You got to watch what you're saying. This is why more are in the etymology dictionary. Not to say that I'm smart or this, that, and the other, or in a dictionary. It's because I need to know what I'm saying, so I don't cast out on myself.
Wrong spell.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so talk about that. Talk about that before we close out. The concept of it coming back to you. This idea of projecting. Especially with regard to especially with regard to like identity and all that.
Oh man, well shoot, I could tell you right there what I just kind of gave with the whole child support thing when I was dealing with that. Like that was an issue because we were dealing with the gear. But as soon as I corrected my position, not changed, but corrected my position, they backed down with no issue. And I'm telling you, several times I went to jail for this. You know what I mean? Several times, from extradited from Georgia to Michigan.
Mm-hmm. So
I know about identity, and then again, finding out that identity means you're sexually and morally depraved. Hey, I most definitely want my identity correct. When you talk about licenses and all these things, I don't want to have none of that. And then to have a license, you taking my liberty and converting it into a privilege. And back to what he said about that supreme law of the land, you can't do that. But yet they'll continue to let them do it, man. Again, that wordplay, people will get it. You keep speaking these things. Well, I bet you how much life is not going too well for him. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
All that anger not just stemming from Moors doing something. It's a lot of things that's not going right for him. I wonder, like, what are these indigenous things going? What's happening for you on that level? Like, what are you effectuating? How has it helped you to know that? Because I can show you, plus other Moors can show you how this has helped them and their families.
Exactly.
Even you, GS, you're in the paper up there where you're at for helping a woman, keep her children from the people taking it. It's people losing their children every day. It's bigger than, just arguing about Moors being, who was a Moor, where you from? Man, there's people out here really losing their lives, their children and stuff. And these grown men want to argue about native tribes. Like, you have to be with a nation first. So where's your nation? You know, like why you asking where is the Moroccan nation? You're standing on it. And that's easy. And again, with the words, man, they got to get that wordplay together. Because he nigga. Well, Negro Javero Rainbow, troglodyte nigga, that's not me, nor any of my brothers and sisters. That's somebody else. So who is he even talking to?
Bro.
That's good on dude, because he'll get me in his state, emotional, ready to smack his face. Like serious, because he's just not stopping it. He like very belligerent, like nah, that's not what to do. Like, you know, I'm from smack you in the mouth state, like period. Like no, you're not gonna do it. Like you're just not. But you know, and I'll just keep peace on that one. You know, I ain't gonna say nothing about love, because for the love is the reason why I'm gonna slap you. Right.
They don't want that tough love.
Just to keep the peace, it's like don't even talk to them, man. You see where they at. And it's like, you just got to let it go at one point. These people falling on their own sword. Every time he opened his mouth, he killed himself. He just tightening the rope on his own neck.
So don't get played.
He'll leave Chief Tyrone. Chief Tyrone is do-rag and feathers. Yeah. We say feathers up. They say feathers up. Feathers not knowing that feathers was for the babes, huh?
Feathers up. No. Not really. Feathers up first. Feathers up before feathers.
Hey.
There's a lot more. Give thanks, yo. Peace and love to all the Moors out there worldwide. If I didn't see your stuff in the chat, you could email Canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Oh yeah. And we gotta also say R.I.P. to James Ingram Bay, who transitioned. So just make sure you go play some James Ingram Bay. And once again, the master teacher, Delbert Blair. Make sure you throw some Delbert Blair out there, light a little candle tonight or something.
Islam. Hey, yeah, peace to the Moor, James Ingram. I didn't even know the Moor was a Bay, but he transitioned at 66.
Yeah, I know.
You know, that's the 12. 12 signs of the zodiac, as is above, as is below.
Let me see if I can find this thing to show people how real it is. There was an article I seen earlier, but it wasn't an article, promotion. Something. They know they're not gonna put that bay out there.
Nah.
Man,
well, Yassine Bey and Erykah Badu Hill, they doing enough for him when they can't see that. I mean, that's a limelight for you right there.
Straight. So peace and love to all the Moors. Don't forget, show honors to the ancestors all the time. Don't even play with it. Don't even play with it.
Wow, Moors.
Islam to all Moors, wherever you're at. We'll catch you on Sunday unless something comes up out the blue. Unless something comes up. Peace and love, Moors. Islam.
Islam, GS. Peace, Moors.
Jack your shit. Volume 2. Hope you're enjoying this album. Taking it back for a minute. Listen to this. Yo, y'all expect me to rap about serving out crack, serving flaky white stuff to fiends that making stacks. I don't even give a fuck about facts. When I talk about the system is alive and feeding off of us blacks. You wanna hear about busting gas and shootouts and acts? I say fuck that. All of them projects are whack. I move right across the street from 41 to Stakeout. See what they're putting on pension, what they like to take out. It's all about counteracting to the legal violence. 500 years of physical torture almost gone in silence. You don't even want to know how they came to be. They'd rather be like 50 and fill up your cemetery. They'd rather rap about guns they never touched before, while their uncle spends time turning women to whores. For sure, every you watch a Babylon cell phone. The earbuds, the closest thing Babylon made to get in your door. When you're not calling, it's still on roll. Have your heads as the playground that you lost your home. When we rap about spinners, when you're buying from winners, role models of sinners, and your mind stays if you get up, let you stay there, cause I'm ready to hold no hands. Fuck you perpetrating fakers trying to pose like a man. Overstand I could have rapped about busting my toe. That was elementary, I done completed high school. Came from Old Corner where we smoke marijuana at open house night. I blow to smoke to your mama, nigga. Live for drama, death before the sun. I still believe that. Now I live a life of karma. Do I want my fam caught up, ducking out from feds, searching for guns under my bed? Cause you calling me dread. I fit the description of every crime committed. Cause I know the slavery has never been little. It's a G.O.D. IHF. Okay. Hands hitting the ceiling yet? Yo, remember this? Hey, rebel music. Getting hung yet? Walls getting slapped down yet? Remember this? Yo, I'm into hench mentality, devils dying practically and tossing dry bones into death valley. I'm into war poems and vibing with my homes, but I'm not into spicy chromosomes. Then when people start listening close to get heated, cause only then they realize how much you get mistreated. Cops stop you for riding a bike with no horn, while priests force little children to do porn. Cops don't bust the culprit, bother me for bullshit. They don't wanna lock me up, bullshit. Like y'all have a license to kill, I will. Train to shoot extra shot blocks like blocks to stand still, man, chill. You wanna serve and protect? You just disrespect, neglect to be the next to break our necks. You smoke cigarettes to the bus, action in the street. I smoke Molly outside and still feel heat. Despite the law that everyone thinks sounds fishy, everything's suspect right here in Mega City. IHF, we just jack this shit. IHF, we just jack this shit. Look at you and hear me. You need to change the ways. Oh, yo, listen, you would hear me. You need to read more. Stop wanting to live your life riding a seesaw. Long church, for church, not statements of fashion. They just want to harder when martial law happens. Whether it's running or gunning, by the time you're untied your hands are in shackles, or your soul's leaving your body to tackle the demons to join the war. With the archangels of the Most High Battalion, Coast Guard Squadron, protecting the serve with too much nerve. A lot of girls need a back slapping. Not for me, but mom's rules for discipline. I'm not into abuse. He's safe 9 and I'm problems and a bitch ain't one. But he's on the next slapping a girl, so he's lying for fun. And you buying the CD supports the lying for fun. Wanting to pack, wanting time to react, but you lose your gun. So comes around, returns to the spot where it begun. Calling items that she all like the property one. Spending more time cleaning her when you should spend quality time with your son or daughter. And wonder why the good guy young and still getting slaughtered. Slaughtered. The letter from Kelly for this one, man. Hey yo. They got you thinking like an animal, you are what you eat. A lot of y'all walk around with snouts and pig feet. Your nose turned into a beat, you're getting obnoxious. Thinking of eating chicken KFC as Knights of Columbus. Oxtail chitlins, type of slave dishes. Children writing letters to Satan Claus for Christmas wishes. Treating your daughter come to lives with stems too long, who actuality is solved. Who may be called Jesus, the Son of God, God. Don't you find the God the New Testament is made up of letters written from fraud to fraud. 12 years plus 1 judge is 13. Like Jesus and his 12 disciples, the curtain of lies is so white it's blinded. Skin like burned glass, it's black Africans, Negroes. Trust me, it's not no white people. Beings in the flesh on earth you call gods with only a mask. Tap your pioneers to wield the riches in your memory banks. I'm not wise, but police practicing 2 blacks in their head. I'm a loss, not the bomber black dead. The dance of the lost war, I move so fast and a blast. I see you wanna run in the race of rats. For stupidity and ignorance, the cross by your fingertips, just to get high off of both our sticks. Hand yourself by your feet with Timberland. You meant to slave over slapping upside down in your hands again. Jack is shit. Hold on this beat, I just like to say one thing, you know what I'm saying? I have a little youth man coming next month, you know what I'm saying? November 2004. This is the track, You're Married Tomorrow One, I'm Married Tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? So big up to that, all the strong empress out there holding the fort down, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head up, don't go down, don't go down. On earth like in heaven, on earth like in heaven, on earth like in heaven, on earth like in heaven. Everything on this earth is just a recreation. There's nothing's new under the sun. Stop and think for a moment, this place we came from. Never stop and think about that shit, man. In Africa, whites run the whole continent. Even though they don't belong there, blacks are most prominent. Giving back odds, ain't even on their conscience. Feeling no feelings, dying over nonsense. Is that how it is in heaven? I doubt it a lot. I'm pretty sure in heaven, angels, they can't get shot for not going back to mining holes, risking their life to mine diamonds for the bears to make a ring for your wife. You have to pay $500,000 for. But if we took it to war and flipped the score, no more blacks would be poor. Only then can we be closer to earth on heaven. Till then I can just say we're all half-stepping. Oh, Henry, now I'm searching for Orion. In Babylon, there's too much cameras to even be hiding. Smaller than tax and wherever you want to reside in. The impact of wisdom is like earth and comets colliding. To extinct dinosaurs and flying omnivores. Creating life in different forms, blood leaking from pores. Dirty women and men, mouths covered in sores. Being pimped for so long, we all think like whores. Turn me out for the all you have in your wallet. That's everyone's problem, but it's time that we'll solve it. Yo, whether you're singing on the block, sliding crack, trying to stack cheddar legit, you gotta watch your back. Cause cops always want to smoke the free sacks. You're always asking for ID when he don't really need that. And all you overseers in heaven abusing their power. You angels lose faith and fall into pits and devour like the Leviathan. If they fail, do they try again? People up there trying to act as if they're my friend. Cause I don't really need that love after this torture on earth. Feels like I've been tested ever since birth. Why do people create prices that they think that I'm worth? Yo, can I see the sun in the heaven or am I already there? Can I exist without no fear? Or will deceivers admit they stole our technology? Greeks and aliens get the credit that's ours rightfully. Perfect Pythagoras, act like you're mad at us. Where did the pyramids come from? Africans fabulous.
It's ours, frankincense and myrrh plus all the gold. Everything is stole, we want it right back, it's on. My word is my weapon. I'm seeing Chinese and Sri Lankans calling in the black men. Got your lips smacking. Going to Mandarin buffets, you won't spend G's, but you might eat cat Siamese. You line up just to pay for chicken with a Tony. What type of kind are they selling you to charge a Tony? You fat dudes for fast food and chase it down with liquor. Killing the stomach and intestines, putting the burn to your liver. Treating the black woman like boys, the men act like pimps. Worshipping golden cups like calves, showing you hurting. Through white lies, cure AIDS, African men sleep with virgins. And facts move from closets to behind curtains. If I don't drink milk, I'll never find out about a missing person. Police don't ever do their job, but the kidnappers who the family's cursing. What about the warmongers and Vikings striking slaves with wits? Building mental pyramids and glass tips. Building iPhones and CN towers. Those are obelisks stolen after we took it away with ships.